So, good evening guys, and welcome to another Monday Night OTL. It is Season 4, and tonight we're on Round 7, and we head to the streets of Monaco. Rob Wilson asked if he's DNF it already out the chat. Yes, of course, as I said, tonight we head to Monaco. 100% focus needed by every single driver on the track, because this track bites and bites hard. I hope you're all doing well. Mikey, Rob and Mick, it is a pleasure to see you in the chat. Mr. Rage will be looking to come on from his win last week at Portugal and make some gains. Mike hoping to hopefully get himself back on track after falling down the order a little bit last week on the positions change, the pit stops. Mitzi Matt, good evening, it's very good to see you in the chat. And of course Nelly taking that podium in the season, hoping to do a turn up for the books, although being Monaco and on the pad, I think these guys will have quite a hard day. So we'll get going any moment now. I will quickly jump off the chat and I will get us a quick rundown of exactly how the championship is looking. Let's go to standings and get them up, and we will let you know exactly what is what and who as well. So, at the top of the table we have Mike on 132 points, but only 9 points behind now Mr. Rage on 123, and then 11 points behind Rage we have Nelly on 112. So, it is very close between our top three. Irish Noob Potato has made a good comeback. He's only again 9 points behind in P4 on 103. Then we've got Mikey and Matoman P5 and 6, both tied on 97, so they're well in that fight for the top three and maybe even the championship as it stands. Airflow is back there in P7 on 85. Then we've got Rob Wells P8 and 81. Then Ryan Sam P9, a good debut season, on 78. Then ENTXJ P10 on 70. Chris Taps on 11th on 62. Mick in 12th on 49, then SPW P13, he's not been for a couple of races as well, still on 13th in the championship on 47. We've got Pedro on 14th, tied on 47. Then Fingers a few points behind in 15th on 44. Then we've got Shiv 9 behind Fingers in 16th on 35. Scarman 17th on 31. Ranger 18th on 27. Connor Kid P19 on 26. Dixie P20 on 22. Nick, Schlee, Mitch 18, 12 and 12, Glowsticks and Walker. We've got some guys changed out, so I'll need to maybe see if Jensen can swap that over. The Constructors battle, the fight at the front is very close. McLaren on 213, Red Bull hot on their heels, 13 points back on 200. Then we've got a bit of a gap, 43 points to Mercedes in P3 and 157, but they're in a very, very close fight for P3 between Mercedes, Alfa Romeo, Alfa Tauri and Alpine. Mercedes on 157, Alfa Romeo on 152, Alfa Tauri on 150 and Alpine on 149. So only 8 points separating P3 to P7 in our Constructors Championship. Then we have Ferrari and Haas tied up in a battle for P8, Ferrari on 97 and Haas on 91, and then Aston Martin at the back there on 72 points in P10. What do we have after Monaco? France. Oh, so this, again, our last of our normal feature, and then next week, the return of the sprint format also at France, so that should be something to look forward to. We will get all the data on the screen, and we will get ourselves prepped for what should be, I would say Monaco exciting. It could be exciting, but it's usually not so much. It's a bit of a procession. Good evening, SPW. Adam and Mr. Skarma, it is a pleasure to have you in the chat. So I get a sip on my Red Bull to keep me charged up for the next 90 minutes. Was that a sugar-free one I bought? No. So, we wait. Everybody been tentative of getting out on track. We've usually seen drivers scamper away, and just as I say that, we have a couple of guys getting out. Dixie being one of them, I think. No, it wasn't. Who was it? Was it Mick? Mick was our lead man to leave the box in the Williams car. So, a lap of, or a track where not going full commitment on the first lap is probably very sensible. It's very much a build yourself up to pushing hard, plus you want to get positions back because overtaking is very, very difficult. Yeah, Mitzi Matt, you've got it to look forward to on Thursday. But I think you're in a not bad car, so it could be positive, young man. So Mick is going to be our first man to get a lap open. He's got a McLaren out in front, but we will stay with him on board for the first lap of Monaco. So DRS open, coming up to turn 1. You want to brake just at the kink on the left of the barrier, tuck it up all over the curb on the inside, pick up your throttle nice and early as your traction zone up the hill is paramount. Then you'll get over the crest, you'll see a little walking point across the road. I like to use that as my braking marker. Keep it nice and neat through 2, up to the as close as you dare at 3, then miss the bump on the way down the hill into turn 4, the first of 2 hairpins back to back, keeps it nice and neat, keeps the car tucked up in second gear, then down to first gear, one of the only first gear corners on the calendar, then back down the hill he goes, using a bit of the curb on the inside, not too much, again misses his apex by a few inches there, then gets on the power nice and smoothly to head through the tunnel and down the hill into the guts of sector 2, finds a braking here about 75-80 metres all over the curb on the inside, careful not to invalidate a lap, all on the exit, then your commitment into the last sector up towards swimming pool, threading the eye of the needle at 150 miles an hour, big commitment all over the curb on the inside and the outside, small check of oversteer as the rear of the car starts to light up at the end of the lap, gets it nice and neat to the second last corner, then nice and neat through the last, DRS will pop open and keep it nice and tight to the wall all the way to the line, set a benchmark time of an 11.7 on the medium compound tyre. Mataman lighting up the sectors just a little bit behind, so we will just stay with him, although we have Nelly I think coming to the line on the medium compound, so we'll see where he goes. He goes to a 13.0 as it stands, but Mataman looking nice and tidy at the moment. As we see Kristaps 11.0 on that soft compound tyre. Mataman nice and neat out the bottom. Let's see how good and committed he can be through swimming pool. All over the curbs, taking big commitment and get it in as close as you dare. That was great commitment and used the curb on the exit of swimming pool very, very well. Then keeps it nice and neat for the second to last corner. 1 to go, get it in, get the power down, DRS open. Dixie goes in at 12.3 to P4, but where is Matt? I think it's going to be the benchmark time. It's a 10.9 on the medium compound tyre. Very, very good opening lap there for Mataman. How is Mike getting on though? Our championship leader on the medium compound, coming at the last couple of corners. He's missed his apex by a little bit there, gets his power on, and I think Mike's going to take over that benchmark time. It's going to be a 10.5, 4/10 advantage there to Mataman. We then have F. Lewis. I think he's just in an out lap, opening up, getting Nelly on an in lap. So we'll stay with F. Lewis. He's going to be our next man to get one as he heads up the hill. Small touch of the barrier on the outside there. He's got to keep it nice and neat. Nude Potato there improves to the line. He's got some traffic not far behind. I think that's all drivers on an out lap though. As F. Lewis comes up to green fingers here. Fingers on an out lap, so he'll need to do his best to get out of the way. And he's going to pull to the... Oh! Don't know what F. Lewis done there. He's had a big moment out of the exit of that corner. And T-bone Fingers there. I don't think Fingers will take too lightly at that, because it probably means he's got damage and it might ruin it, hit that run. He may need to box now. So where is our next man to come round? I think it's going to be Fingers. Did Fingers get any damage? That's the question. No, he didn't. Yeah, it was an interesting one there. I think that's just been an oversteer moment, but maybe should have got out the throttle a bit earlier to avoid it. Fingers looking nice and tidy. Pedro's still in the pits. He's not chose to come out. He's watched Fingers clatter himself through the tunnel. Down the hill he goes. Keep it nice and neat, don't pick up an invalidation. That's going to pull him wide. He does well there to keep the car out the wall. Very, very good job there from Fingers. As he now comes into swimming pool. How committed can he be? He has to have a small lift on the entrance. I think that's just because he was a little bit out of line. Using all of the curb on the exit. That's a very, very good line, of course. It can unsettle the rear of the car a little bit, but it is the optimum line to take. Then Fingers will come to the line. I think he's going to be somewhere in the 12s. It's going to be a 12.6 for Fingers on that soft compound tyre. And we've got who's missed it, and somebody out. Jock is out. So Mr. Rage, a race winner from Portugal last week, how much time he's got is Mike. He goes to a 10.3 on that soft compound tyre, but I think Rage is going to be the man to beat today. Although don't underestimate Con. If Con can get the lap, Con is very quick. Although Mike on the 10.5 seems to be holding an advantage, but we've not seen what Rage can do yet. As Rage invalidates his lap down the hill. Adam says Steve was a lovely... Oh, some compliments in the chat. Adam being nice to somebody I never thought I'd see today. Neflus is annoyed at himself, I think. Let's go see how Ranger's getting on. I just went to see how Ranger was getting on and he slotted himself into P5 on the mediums. 11-0 for Ranger. Is Mr. Rage going again? Yes, he is. Oh, don't you'll make me sick. Oh, and I didn't think Rage was going to get the car slowed down there. Mikey now goes to a 10.0 and really starts to crank in that advantage on the soft compound tyre. Oh, and that's going to cost Race some time there. The front of the car just not lighting up for these guys at all. A bit understeery. The cars are inherently understeery, but... Oh, Rage, big commitment. He's going to lose the rear of the car there. Wow, SPW, that's... Going to break up yet. Let's see how Mike's getting on in his medium compound tyre now, coming down the hill. Maybe Mike feels he's got more on the mediums. See that papaya in blue McLaren and all the lovely yachts in the background. Coming up to swimming pool now, big commitment there on entry, nice and flat. Oh, that's beautiful there from Mike. Small touch of the ball, but he'll get away with that one. No damage. Tucks it up nicely in the second to last corner. Then how committed is he on the last? He gets a much better entrance to the last corner. Power on now, and I think Mike's going to breach into the 9s on the medium compound tyre. He does. It's a 9.8 for Mike on the medium, and that is a huge lap time. Can you two stop in the chat? It's horrible. And for anybody watching that doesn't know, I know these two, and it's just, it seems so out of the ordinary for them to be speaking to each other in such a manner. Oh my god. Ferrero Rocher offers now in the chat. Right, Adam. Who's got your phone? Who is this? Because I do not believe for a second. Oh my god, Mitsuma and with a love for what is happening in the chat? What? No, come on, SPW. That is just mean. I don't know. You've all got me that hooked up in the chat that I can't watch the laps. Right, let me get back to F-Loose. As he comes through the tunnel and down the hill. To pick up his braking. How committed get it in all over the curb, gets a reasonably good exit there. Power goes on very well. Committed through swimming pool, absolutely for a little bit of a lift. Oh, he has to double take there, second to last corner. Wing was nearly away, and then it's get the power on. Oh, good aggressive throttle application there from F. Lewis. Where is he going to go? Somewhere in the 11s. It's an 11.1 P8. And as I say, it's not an easy circuit for any driver on the controller. I wonder if is Jay one of our guys that went to wheel? No, I think not. Thank you, SPW. Thank you. So much love in the chat. It's interesting. Oh, as we see a wheel off there in the middle of the track. Is that Chubby Slug? Did Chubby Slug bottle it? Adam, tell me if Chubby Slug bottled it and binned his car at turn 3. We'll go back to ENTXG. Mate, what's happening? I don't... thanks, I guess, Mike. Oh my god, what? So, ENTXG, coming into the last couple of corners. Is he going to back out the lap? Yes, he does. How is Rob Wells getting on in the P4? In fact, he went to P4. So, haha to Chubby Slug, he bottled it, but he may still start inside the top 10. His one touches the bottom of the pint glass. His elbow? I know. He's got a big elbow. So let's go to somebody that we've maybe not been on. Pedro's still not out on a lap. How is Shiv getting on? 4 tenths up, let's see, sector 1 split. Our man Shiv, he's a couple of tenths down, sector 1. Balls to Chubby Slug, yeah, I agree. No one loves you up there. Trust Pedro to come in the chat and bring the aggression. There is no surprise. And oh, Shiv just scampers along the track. He's not having none of it. So Mikey, can he improve? He's only a couple of tenths away from Mike. So maybe Mike could be his biggest... Mikey could be Mike's biggest competitor. Of course, Rage still got to put a lap time in. So I do expect more from Rage. It's all hate from here. Oh, Mike get a little wobble there in the last corner to open his lap. But he will now commit to try and get himself an improvement on the leaderboard. This will probably be his last run of the session. Whether he commits to 2 laps or not, I'm not sure. We'll go on board because he's going to have some traffic as he starts to come into sector 2, I think. Nice and tight. ENTXG getting a... Gets out of the way really well there, actually. It's a nice place to let somebody past. I never thought of building a car over there. Nice in the first chicane. He's got his teammate Nude Potato up ahead. Tugs up in the hairpin. Beautifully Nude Potato there. Oh, maybe costs. Mikey a little bit of time, but not too much. Just wanted to get out of his way, his earliest opportunity. Then Mikey gets on the power and we'll head down the hill. Sector 2 split coming up, so we'll get an idea if Mikey is finding any time here. He's got a slow Haas ahead. One fingers there, one. Mikey was absolutely committed. He was not backing out of that at all. So, I don't think Mikey's going to improve. He's only a tenth and a half down though. Mikey can definitely go quicker here. Wow, come on, what is this now, Pedro? Come on. So let's see if Mikey now, with a bit of clear traffic, can get the running, because the guys in front I think are on hot laps. He's been better in sector 1, but then he goes deep down the bottom of the hill, and that'll be the lap over. Mikey is destined to P2, but Mr. Rage only good enough for third. And his Mercedes is a 10.1. Hey, but you're still here listening, SPW, aren't you? Ranger has had enough for the session. How is Nude Potato getting on? He's on a lap. Is he going to find any improvement? A slow moving Red Bull ahead again as Mick retires from the session. On a P7 for Mick, 10.5, I think he'd be reasonably happy with that. Has Con got any time in the bank though? This will be up for the end of his session. To the line he goes. It does improve by only a tenth and a half. He goes to P9. His teammate Mikey will get another run as this. F no, it's ENTXJ. And J goes to P10 now. Dislodges Chubby Slug. He's now in P11. Say again, you go away, you. You pussy SPW. Pedro, what you doing? Why are you not out in the lap, you absolute dingbat? So who do we have? Kristaps, how's he getting on? Kristaps not on a lap. Is Mike on one? I think Mike may be over, and I think it's going to be a relatively quiet end to qualifying. I think Mikey, our only man here, on a lap. Making sure Connell doesn't, so can oh no, and that's going to be it for Mikey. That'll be the lap over. He was down anyway in Sector 2. And I think that's going to be it for everybody. Oh, ENTXJ is up on this run. So we'll see where Jay can go. Is he going to commit the lap? Oh, big oversteer moment into the last corner. DRS will pop open. To the line, can Jay get himself higher up in that top 10? He does. He goes to P9. It's a 10.6. Puts Dixie outside the top 10, giving him that free tyre choice in P11. Nude Potato in P10. But Mr. Rage, out of nowhere, I didn't realise he was on a lap. Mr. Rage, with a 9.5, takes pole position by 0.3 of a second. But of course, Mike starting on the medium compound tyre. Ah, joke. Don't say it like that. It's Monaco, mate, so Monaco, there's exceptions when it comes to this circuit. But Mr. Rage, after his win at Portugal, gets off on the right foot. He will take pole position by 0.3 of a second. Mikey with a strong zone in P3. Ranger in P4, Ryan Sam 5, Robo 6, Mick 7, Kristaps 8, ENTXJ 9, and Nude Potato will round out the top 10. Good evening everyone in the chat. Guys, if you haven't already, well, there's a little break if you're not a racer and you're just watching. Please drop a thumbs up on the stream. Helps us a lot, helps everybody that gets content out here. So there we see Mike starting on that medium compound tyre. Everybody else inside the top 10 is all going to be softs. So Mike, I think, has the advantage here. Because safety car becomes a big player. The medium tyre here can practically do the full distance of the race. That is something to bear in mind. The soft is very durable as well. And it's a long old race. I think it's like 38 laps here. Or maybe even more. Oh, I don't even want to know why that is. SPW, I do not want to know why. So, the calm before the storm. The drivers will be looking to navigate their first lap. If the opportunity arises, you've got to take it, because overtaking here is nigh on impossible. But you also want to be conservative in the sense that picking up damage here is just, it's game over, really. And of course, if you see yourself catching a driver very quickly, it probably means he's going to have damage, and remember, he has nowhere to go in the higher speed corners, so be aware of those kind of situations and not get yourself caught up in it. You may just need to go slowly while they go about their business. It's one of those things and part of racing. Odds of F. Lewis taking out more than one car turn one. I hope low. Very low. Or high odds, sorry. High odds, that means it's bad. So like 100 to 1. I hope. And not like 1 to 5. Yeah. 27. First Karma says 27. He's gaining. That's terrible odds, Skarma. So we get to the view. I hate the fact that I need to look in the pit lane. I'd much rather be seeing the guys on the grid. But we will go to the race director and give everybody a sneaky peek at who is doing what tyre outside the top 10. I think it will be mediums for all, and it looks to be that way. So we'll just stay here to see what is what. I was just saying his odds were terrible. SPW, you can't tell me 2-7's good odds. Then you're just crazy. Mr. Rage on that pole position, and the timer has came up, so we've seen Dick's Slug go to the hards. That's not smart. What is he doing there? Mataman? If you have a brain, you will put the medium tyre on. But I guess that brain is peanut. So it's going to be hard for Matt. I hope that's a bug. We will go see. Let's check here. Tyre, and it is the hard compound for Mataman. I don't know if that is a good call there. I'm not the one racing, but it certainly wouldn't be me going to the hards. 19 driver field for Monaco. Absolutely great result. Too many people. Oh, I'm not racing, it's Monaco. Only one driver missing. I wonder who that is. SPW. Mr. Rage in no rush. He wants to give Mike nothing here. His tyres will come into a window much better than the medium compound. So it's going to be down to Mike, I think, to open a gap, to give himself some free track to get heat up in the mediums, which he appears to be doing. L plan incoming. Where are you, Shiv? P14. Oh, Dixie has been disqualified. Oh, did Matterman hit him? Adam, if you're in the chat, tell me if Matterman just hit you. So, as I say, keep your nose clean, lap 1. Do not get into any crazy situations. I'm going to swing for Matthew, so help me God! That's a great statement. That's because Matt's on the silly tyre, Adam. And Mikey has left the session. Connection issues right off the start? No way. Mikey needs an invite. So we'll go to the back as Jock comes round the last corner. He will take up his grid slot in OTL's round 7 at Monaco. We'll get some lights into the grid. We will go to Rage as we watch. From the back we have 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's lights out and the Monaco GP is away, and it looks as if Mike and P2 get a much better start. Wade has a big bucket of wheel spin, and that's going to cost him the lead into turn 1. I think he was focused and just defending, and as we'll look further back here, we'll make sure everybody's going to filter up the hill nice and evenly. Everybody doing their best to just try and stay out of trouble. And I think everybody's managed to filter through. We've got Mikey's AI, that's his AI card, just been absolutely crumbled by everybody. Everybody pushing through as quick as they dare. as Chubby Slug and ENTXJ go side by side. Let's go further up the field. We'll watch Nelly here as he tries to make the run on Mick down out the bridge. I don't think he's going to be pushing on, and the procession of Monaco begins. So I'm intrigued to see if Mr. Rage can do anything on the better compound tyre. He needs to get that track position back from Mike because this is not ideal. Let's look further back. We've got Kristaps round there. Now Dixie's going to catch him up. Kristaps has got damage, so Dixie will need to be very careful here. He's going into the pits. Through Kristaps go. Dixie now up to P11. No damage on his car. F. Lewis not far behind. So up the hill they go. Let's look ahead. Chubby Slug now going to be put under big attack, I think. Welcome to everybody that has joined us tonight for the OTL's Monaco GP. As we see Chubby Slug on the hards, gained a couple of positions off the start, P12 to P8, so me saying the hards wasn't the clever call, and somehow he still managed to gain 4 positions off the start, so very impressive stuff there for Matoman. You've got Nelly still in the back of Mick. Mick starting to fall off the back of the pack here. The gap is forming between our top 5 and 6 and below. 21 people in the chat. Good welcome to everybody. Welcome. You've probably joined on one of the worst Grand Prix because not much overtaking can ever be done, and his Chubby Slug there picked up some damage. He was a ghosted car for a second, and he is. He's going to have to pit. So Chubby Slug in off the hard compound tyre, and the first walking wounding has come through. Matoman takes the first wing change of the session, and I am sure as the race proceeds we will see more. Come on, give me an interval game. Stupid. I'll need to go by my eye. We'll see here Nelly on the back of Mick. He's just kind of staying here at the moment, but Nelly looks as if he is quicker, so he'll be looking to try and get through if he can get through, but the soft tyre will stay good for a good plethora of laps still. Mr. Rage still in the back of Mike, up front, gap floating around 6 or 7 tenths. But Mike looking very comfortable. Let's actually get some telemetry up. You see the energies, it's very even between our top 2. Ranger YouTube, seen the bit. Oh, and I hope that's not any damage there for Ranger. He's managed to keep it down, but he may need to go in the pits. No, he's not, so I don't think he's got any damage. Ryan Sam putting him under big pressure as well for a podium. Can he do anything? Rob Wells as well, he says, I'm not expecting much, and he's right in this battle for P3. Further back, what have we got? Nude Potato and F. Lucy. Nude Potato having a big oversteer moment out of turn 1. Up the hill they go. Dixie's starting to settle down into a rhythm, although he is falling off the back of the soft guys. Let's see his energy down to 40%, but he is catching them up. Just needs to keep his head down there. Let's go to Rob Wells and Ryan Sam. Rob Wells got a lot of energy, so he's got some pace in the car. 39 laps ahead of the guy, so it's a long old Grand Prix. So we go with Mick. Sitting in P6, I think he'll be reasonably happy with his efforts so far. Winning last night, of course, in P0, our newest addition to the Home of Racing family, on Sunday nights on the same channel. So that is definitely one to watch. Cheeky plug there for Scarman and his crew. Now, ENTXJ is a bit of a cork in the bottle. He has been hunted hard by Dixie. Dixie got a few drivers behind him. F. Lewis, Mikey and Shiv too coming into this battle. So I wonder if Adam will be able to get through here. Because I think if he can get through, he can get up onto the back of that fight, and he just turns into turn 3 a little early there. I don't think he's picked up any damage, but he'll need to be very careful as Chubby Slug takes the fastest lap of the race in a 12.2. And he's just looking for the overtake, I think. Just need to settle his head down a bit. If he keeps the corner smooth, the opportunity is going to come. As ENTXJ is a big moment there on throttle, and that's one of the biggest challenges of Monaco, just keeping the traction under control. There's so much on and off throttle that just if you don't find a rhythm, it becomes very, very difficult, as we see him there snatching on their inside lockup. So how much is Adam going to push? And the DRS one's just not enough here. Is he going to go for the move? He thinks about it, but it's not going to come this time around. He'll tuck up in behind. Can he do anything up the hill? ENTXJ will defend it off for now. We've got Nelly now in the back of Mick. You'll see that Mick's struggling a bit in energy. Is he going to launch a move down into turn 3? That's not going to come this time round. What about Dixie? Is he looking at it? No, it's not going to be close enough. You've really got to be on the back of the driver and hope they have a compromised exit at 3 to get the run into 4 to get that overtake done. And as I say, it takes big commitment to get the job done. Ryan Sam now right in the back of Ranger. Rob Will's in this fight as well, and something must have happened to Mick. What has happened to Mick? Has Mick picked up some damage? Because he seems to be struggling a little bit here. Nelly really on the back of him. Is Mick always P6? Oh no, I think he was. I think he was. I'm absolutely tripping. Sorry chat. Hope you're all doing well. And has Mikey got back into the session? Yes, he has. So he's starting to recover. Nelly tries to push, but it's not going to come. Now we'll look for the exit up the hill. He gets on it, and he's going to now try and put Mick under pressure here. He'll go to the inside line, and he'll stick his nose up there, a little bit of contact, but the overtake's not going to come. Mick gives the space, but positions his car in a way that it was just very difficult for Nelly to really slide it all the way up the inside. F. Lewis now on the back of Dixie, who's also still on the back of ENTXJ, and these guys are going to be looking for opportunities to come. They will want to get through. Where else do we have moves being made? I think this is probably one of our closest fight. F. Lewis on the back of this as well, but it's just one of these situations where you just, it's not much you can do. Dixie very close to them all there. Mike into the pit. Has Mike picked up damage? He did. Mike got damage, so he's going to fall down the order. So Mike is going to have to do some overtaking. He's going to come out behind Fingers and possibly even Jock here. And that changes the outlook of this race quite massively. Mike down to P14 and possibly even 15. It is going to be P15 because Mataman will get through and he's not going to be an easy car to overtake. And Mike... Oh, and Mike spun the car out of the pits! Oh, he's really cracked open the bottle and dropped it there. And that is going to be detrimental to the race. I think he has spun coming out the pits on that hard compound tyre. And he's picked up more damage for good measure. So Mr. Rage now takes control of the race. Got Rob Wills and Ryan Sam. Look at this. Can Rob Wills get the exit and the run? DRS will pop open right on that energy. He is pushing hard. But as I say, the DRS zone here is just not long enough, not strong enough to really allow you to gain any advantage. We've got Dixie still stuck behind Jay and not managing to make any moves, although maybe he'll look for something up the hill here, but he's going to just sit in behind. And look at this, Jay looking like he's struggling a little bit. Dixie will be hoping to get this move done. Can he get the better exit here? Oh, and he's touched the wall a bit. He doesn't want to do that too many times. That's going to cost him a bit of time. He'll get on the energy and recover that back off. Let's go back to the Rob Wills and Ryan Sam fight. As Mikey picks up his first time penalty of the race for multiple warnings. The time penalty's starting to come in as well, which will play a decisive factor, especially if we have a safety car at some point, which is highly likely at Monaco. Ranger now into the pits. He's off the soft compound tyre, and look at this, we've got Nelly on Mick. Nelly will go through. Mick not going to fight it too much, and through he goes. Dixie still stuck behind ENTXJ. F. Lewis fell right off the back of this fight, so don't know if he's had a moment. Dixie putting ENTXJ under big pressure, but it's Monaco, and if you want to really overtake, there's got to come a time where you really try and push it, and this is going to compromise Jay's exit, so Adam needs to focus on it now. Will he get on his... Oh, and there's been a big spin! Will that be damage for Adam? Has he picked up any damage there? I am unsure. I think he's got away with that. No, he's not. He's picked up damage. So Adam's probably going to go to the pits then. And into the pits he goes. Ryan Sam also boxes. That releases Nelly now into P3. And Adam was having a great run there. Now where we here come out in comparison to the fight. He's out behind Chubby Slug. And Mick, I think he is going to fall behind Mick, so a bit of a comeback mission on for Adam. So this is the closest fight at the moment. Old Shiv pushing up on Mikey, two of the oldest boys about to go at it on the track. Oh, I don't know if Mikey's actually that old. He might hate me for saying that, I am not so sure, but Mikey recovering very well. He's up to P5, of course. He's not pit off his soft compound tyre, but the pace still looks relatively good. And this is where it gets difficult for the guys that have pit. Traffic becomes a big issue. Mr. Rage will get out just in front of that battle. Oh, Mikey is 37. Oh, right, he has one of the oldies in. Ranger here looking at Green Fingers. Will he go for the move down the inside, down the hill? He gets a better exit. He's going to look to it, and he can get the job done. Fingers nice and late in the brakes, positioning the car well, just making it very difficult. And Ranger thinks about it down into the hairpin, but again, Fingers just wise on the brakes. The wily old fox doing a job to just keep Ranger behind. Ranger will get on the energy now. Fingers also defending, and both of the guys will spend down the energy, but Ranger, oh, it's maybe a day late and $1 short there. And he gets the job done. Rob Wills now into the pits, so Nelly being released into the lead of the race. F. Lewis will come through into P2. Now Mikey into the pits. Be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to the pack. Because Mikey could be on a hell of a recovery here. Will he get out in front of Dixie? And I think he is going to. Dixie will be coming through, or Dixie might actually get through on Mikey here. Dixie pushing to try and make it. Into turn one he goes. Mikey comes out the pits, and Adam thought, he shouldn't second guess it, you should just go through. The opportunity was there. Mikey's a driver that will leave you the space as well. I would have claimed that track position. Now what happened to Jay? That's a good point, you Fassa. Good to see you. My friend, it's nice to see you in the chat. You're always joining us. So let's look further up. Dixie on Mikey, Fingers picking up a time penalty, but he's up there in P6. Ryan Sam now in the back of Fingers. His Fingers picked up some damage. I don't think he is. I think these guys are just coming through. They're a bit faster at the moment. And Fingers going to defend himself on. We'll look back there, but I don't think Ryan Sam's going to be able to do much this time around. Fingers doing a job here to keep himself in the race. He's not just allowing people to get through. He'll get on the defensive a little bit. Ryan Sam will just need to sit behind. Ranger now on the back of Shiv. He's on that fresher compound of tyre. Shiv though, a bit of energy advantage. And rightfully entitled to defend this. Ranger will go down the inside, and that's a good move this time around. So Ranger up to P4, can he catch up in Rage? That is the question. Chubby slug back to P6. But of course that early pit stop. Dixie still in the back of Mikey. But they're not closing in, and Mick. Oh no, they are. I take that back. They are closing that gap. We got a bit of a train now behind Fingers. Fingers making everybody's life very difficult. And rightly so. He's got his own race to run. Oh, it's Ryan something there clips the wall. Has he picked up any damage? That'll check Rob up a little bit as well. Just buy Fingers a bit more breathing room. The Fingers sticking to his gun. He's doing a very, very good job here. And of course, the more he holds these guys up, the more it helps his race once he goes to the softs. So bear with me 1 second, please, chat, as I am on my own. I just need to grab the restroom. Just like that and back chat. So this battle continues. Fingers holding them all up. Mr. Rage now in the back of F. Lewis on his new compound tyre, but F. Lewis of course very entitled to keep Mr. Rage behind, but can Mr. Rage get the move done in F. Lewis? He's going to try, but F. Lewis will defend it off. Now let's see here. Is there moves to be made for Rage? Mick now all over the back of Fingers. Rob Wills managed to get through. Ryan, Sam and Rob Wills both get through in Fingers, so I'm not quite sure if there was a small moment for Fingers or they've just got through on track. Rage still pushing on, and can we just say, nearly at the halfway point of the race and we still have a full grid of drivers on the track. So kudos to every single person involved racing so far, as F. Lewis has a big oversteer moment. Can Rage capitalise on that this time? He is not going to be able to. F. Lewis is defending. Oh, and Rage hits him hard. He just goes too deep in the brakes. And I'm wondering now, has Rage picked up some damage? Doesn't look like it. I think he's got away with that one. And Rage goes for it. He's going to go down the inside line. They will bang wheels. F. Lewis will maintain that inside line as they go side by side. There's a bit of squeezing going on. And F. Lewis retains the position so far. And Mr. Rage being backed up into Ranger. It is all starting to kick off. And remember, this is for track position. Ranger goes, Rage goes for a big move on the inside, and on F. Lewis is going to have to cut the corner there, and now we'll lose out to Ranger as well. So a big move there from Rage. Would F. Lewis say that he only got that because he pushed him off track? Oh, I do not know. Good move there from Rage though. He was committed. If you want to make an overtake, it's how it's got to be here. And through he goes up to P2. Now closing down on Nelly, who's out in front, 3 seconds up the road. Yet to take that pit stop. Let's go further back to the grip. The Rob Wills, Ryan, Sam and Chubby Slug gets through and Shiv there. I'm not quite sure what happened. Shiv have a moment out of turn 1, I think he did. Chubby Slug having a lot of understeer there. Front of his car just not hooking up. Ryan Sam on the back of this, getting stuck up in traffic. These guys just getting a bit detached from the pack in front. We've got a yellow flag. Who is that? Who had the yellow flag? Is it Mike? It is Mike, and he gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding the pit lane. He's coming to the pits, and Mike has had enough for the afternoon. Not his day today at Monaco. So Mike will go on to fight again next week. Monaco is like that sometimes. Sometimes it goes your way and other times not so much. I've been intrigued if you're watching in the chat, Mike. Was that just driver error or did anything happen on the pit exit? Yes, you're more than welcome to join us, Mike. We can get a little insight to exactly what went down as well. Bear with me 1 second, chat. We'll go a little bit blue to get young Michael into the chat. On its way, young Michael. So, what is the action happening up front? Ryan Sam on the back of Shiv. Michael comes, yeah, SPW. So we will see if he comes in to join us. I'm sure he will be here any moment. As Chubby Slug picks up a time penalty, aka Mataman, for multiple warnings. He's going to be coming for a pit stop any moment. But look at this, Mr. Rage on Nelly. Mike joins back the session. That'll be so he knows exactly what's going on. Can we do a quiz? Oh, who's that? Is that Skarma? Ah, Skarma, unlucky bro. Ryan Sam, Shiv battle continues. Ryan Sam may look for a move here because Shiv's been a little bit compromised on 3, although Ryan Sam has a big oversteer moment and unable to capitalise on the move. Good evening, young Michael.
Yo, yo, yo.
Just one of those Monacos?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as last season. I don't know if you remember, but I got like no front wing damage on the graphic, but I got front wing damage.
Yeah, because on screen your wing looked absolutely fine.
Genuinely, it was green on my radar, but I just cut and turned in, so it is what it is.
On to next week, of course. A recovery week next week with France being the sprint race again, so
yeah,
essentially some extra points on offer.
For sure.
Anyway, so who do you think's favourite? It's got to be Rage favourite to go win this.
It's got to be Rage, doesn't it?
It's been very comfortable. But the rest of the podium's an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, Ranger with the time penalty could be interesting, but a lot of the guys below him have penalties, so Lewis, if he can just drag this stint out, get the softs on later, he could make up quite a good few positions here, because a lot of the guys from, what is it, Chubby Slug, down
sorry, I've done the same.
down to Mike or Mick are all in a train, so even Mikey's in that train as well, so I mean, Lewis could pick up a good few positions here. Actually, he probably gets a podium if he's smart about it.
Yeah, because if he can get himself pulled up and even just to the back of the Shiv Chubby Slug battle, I think he'll be able to capitalise on their penalties.
Yeah. Does Matoman have to pit again? He obviously pitted very, very early, didn't he?
Well, it would be a big ask to take the... he'd be asking 36 laps of that medium compound tyre.
There he is, he's in now.
And he's came in, so he's going to go soft compound for 15. I've seen Ryan Sam and Shiv had a bit of contact there. I don't know if
front
Ryan's
wing change from Matoman as well.
Oh.
So maybe forcing his hand. It is a bit early for the softs. Maybe with the weather going down, it will offer him some sort of stability, but...
So what was the outlook for the weather to the tail end? Was a rain due?
It was just all dry.
Interesting.
I don't know what's happened, but Rangers caught up very nicely to the Rage and Nelly fight. I felt like he was a few seconds off a lap ago.
3 seconds or so? It was about 3 seconds, and he's now trying to put Rage under a bit of pressure.
If Nelly's smart here, though, he can back Rage.
And Scum is out, the swimming pool. This could be a safety car, Mike. Safety car could be about to come out, and we're not going to get one.
For some reason, they don't come out at Monaco on this game. They just don't. No virtuals, no safety cars. That's why I kind of just retired, because I was like, there's no point.
And here, Jock inside the cars. That could be a little bit off-putting there for people.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially in Monaco. Rangers still well in this fight though.
So Chiv in the pits and Ryan Sam. So Rob can do a very good job here if he can just stay out and really just maintain position. What are the penalties like for everyone
Ryan
else?
Sam must have damage there. He is. He's in for a wing change.
Yeah.
Because he was set to go to the end of the race. It's going to be interesting to see. Nelly's going to come out right in the back of that fight as well, isn't he?
It's all about penalties, isn't it? Like, this train is all of a sudden really pushed out a little bit. Rob's got a nice wee buffer to...
And Rage and Nelly going side by side. Rage trying to get the job done out of the tunnel, but Nelly manages to defend it back off. And Rage are right in the back of the fight now as well, as he has a bit of a moment in the entrance to the swimming pool.
It's awkward for Rage here, isn't it? You want to push it, but you don't want to crash, so...
Because you know it's really not your race, right? Oh! That could be hard enough for damage.
Yeah. Now, he could get the damage I had, and in that case, it's basically over for you. He doesn't seem like he has damage.
That was
just
turn
one. Is that the second time Rage has hit the wall now?
Yeah.
So
same side of the car as well.
Stronger wings than McLaren for sure.
Mikey now up to P7 on the back of Mick and pushing. He's got a lot of energy on. He thought about going to the inside line there, but he just wasn't sure. Mick just going to keep the car in the middle of the road. And that's it. We've seen it. Green Fingers was up in P7 at one point, and the guys were trying to come through, but Fingers just keeping his car in the middle of the road. And
Rage is
really
going to maybe send it down the inside here. No, Nelly just gets the car in front. and it's another yellow flag.
Oh, and Ranger
Job.
gets another time penalty for multiple warnings, so that's really going to hurt his outcome. Let's actually have a look at what the penalties are. It's 9 seconds for Ranger, then 3 seconds for the rest of the field. Jock at the back on 17.
So that P5 to P14 all on, well, Pedro ruins it straight away. P5 to P13 all on 3 seconds. I know there's a bit of gaps now developing, but a lot of them could, one penalty extra could really ruin their race.
That's it. You lose out a hell of a lot of positions as well if you're in that train.
Definitely.
Rage, look at Rage here. Is he going to go for the move? He has an oversteer moment. Exit turn 3.
Rage and Nelly both low on energy compared to Ranger, so if he gets one good run here, I mean, it's Monaco, you could definitely harm his
and
teammate.
Ranger has made the move down here twice already this race, and convincingly out the exit of the tunnel.
So just a quick one, Lewis took a second out of them this lap, so he might want to get involved too.
You could about to see a four-way fight.
You can see how much he gains through the chicane. I mean, he gains 4 or 5 tenths just through there.
Now F-Lewis has got a tough choice here though, because with him being quicker, do you run up to the back of this pack and then start to lose time when you still have to pit again?
Nelly?
Yeah, I think you've got to maybe go to the pit early. Well, Nelly's caught up in the fight. You could go for track position, he's choosing to stay out.
Another thing I've just noticed on Lewis is his energy, his fuel. He has the yellow light. He's 2 laps under fueled.
Oh, and who's that?
Ranger.
Something happened to Ranger.
Now Rob can gain massively here once this delta kind of... Yep, there we go. He's in the penalty window now for Ranger. So that is very bad for Ranger.
And Rob looking good for P2 here.
This is a very good performance here. Mick must have damage. He is falling completely off Rob here.
Let's see, we've got Mikey on the back. Is he maybe trying to save a bit of fuel, Mick? It could be fuel saving.
You can't see on that Williams dial, but we'll see. Mikey usually underfuels the car. Let's see if we can see his. He seems to be just about okay. Obviously Mikey ran out of fuel here last season. I think he's going to go for the move here. No. So yeah, fuel could play a big... Yep, you're right, Mick is worried about the fuel, and Mikey picks up a time penalty. Chris, this is all starting to happen now.
6 seconds for Mikey, so just as you were talking about it, and look at Rachel, he's going to go on the racing line round the outside of Nelly, and he will get through. Good overtake there from Rage, and he will now just be able to drive off into the distance.
And Ranger is in the pit, so Rob is now net P2 on track as well.
Wow, Rob's had a great day. He was saying pre-race, oh, I'm not going to... I'll DNF before lap 2. And he is staring the barrel of a podium.
Yep, let's not commentators custom. We need some points here at McLaren.
Oh, that's a good... Oh, it's your teammate as well, of course.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to interview him. We'll do a better job than Jensen did last week, hopefully, with the interviews.
Yeah, no waffling.
Yes, exactly. So, you can see Rage has completely left Nelly for dead here, and Lewis is... The fuel is going to be a big issue at the end of the race, so Nelly needs to get in and out of the pits really quickly, get a soft tyre on, and hope that he can get some moves done, because Rob's going to have a very nice gap as Mikey gets through on Mick. There's 8 seconds between Mikey and Rob, so if you think about that pit stop gap for Nelly, this is going to be a very interesting end of the race for Nelly.
Do you think F-Lewis is not going to pit?
Just send it.
Because the soft tyre should... Any lap less than 10, you're just taking out of what you would get back, right? For putting the tyre on. And he's...
Yeah, but Lewis needs to pit, doesn't he? He hasn't pit yet.
I think he pit lap 1, lap 29, 28 laps on the tyre. I mean, if he takes this to the end... Let's see. Stops, yeah, has. Oh, no, he's not.
No, he's not. So, Lewis is kind of in a very... Does he just hope for a safety car at this stage? Just hope and pray.
But then
It's
to
the
get
only thing you can
disqualified, I
do.
guess you wouldn't get disqualified because you can just take the pit stop when the safety car cut-off comes in.
Yeah. And then it's kind of like with the fuel as well, he's kind of going to be stone dead last anyway, isn't he?
Yeah, that's
so
a good
unless
point.
the safety car comes out, he's kind of dead meat. So I'd say if I'm Lewis, I mean, maybe if the likes of Rob and Mikey start coming up to the back of me, I maybe let them through if I'm doing such an off strategy. Unless he feels he's got some pace in the car, but this is going to be interesting. Obviously, here we go. Look at this, Nelly, Chubby and Irish Nude and
Potato goes
Nick.
through.
This is a four-way battle here, and oh, Man has a set of kahunas on him. And look at Nelly. Oh, Nelly's faked him well there and around the outside of the
that is a
casino.
beautiful move.
That is something else. So this is going to be interesting. Nelly and Chubby on softs. Obviously, Chubby's are 6 laps older. So can Nelly use the extra grip?
And I think these guys are buying a podium here.
Yeah, whoever kind of... Well, Nelly...
And look at Nelly and Matt. He is pushing hard. I think he's going to go here, Mike, down the inside. Chubby Slug's going to need to defend, but he chooses not to. Nelly will get through. Small bit of contact. Rob Wills rejoins the session. Has he had a connection issue? I think he did. Hopefully he can get back in control of his car. He is back in, so we should see him take back control at any second now. Hopefully the game doesn't give him it in a really awful place.
Awkward position. This could be right up the casino hill. Yep, he's back. Okay. It's all about focus now, and we've lost our gaps.
Yeah, it was as soon as you said he's back, so I think it's somebody taking control that messes up the timing screen for some reason.
Yeah.
Stupid game.
Though, Nelly, we kind of need to see these gaps so we can see if he's on for a P2 or not here, because, I mean, with the pace that he's showing in that car, he definitely could get Rob here. The gap's about 10 seconds or so, maybe a bit more, 12. What, 8 laps to go.
What's happened there? A Ferrari and...
Lewis, maybe?
No,
Is it Jock?
Yeah, Jock
has lost his wing. He's lost some part of his wing. You can just see the lack of downforce. As soon as you lose any part of the wing around here, even though you're running max downforce, it just ruins your car.
And F. Lewis is still going on, and there's something happened to Mercedes. It's Ranger. No, Ranger has blew his wing off. It's all came crumbling down with 9 laps to go.
Yikes. And as we could see, even though there's a front wing just sitting in the middle of the track,
Still no safety car.
So, Rage has a lot of pressure on him now. Hopefully he's listening to not bin it. That's just a queen. Oh, why is Rob down in 15? Is that just a timing glitch?
He's not getting back in control of the car. What's happened? No, he's still in the back at ENTXJ. I think that's just a glitch. And I think Rob isn't back in control of the car. He's just shown up ghosted on my screen.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. It's now fixed itself. Rob back to P3.
There we go, there we go. Now, Mikey is really gaining quite a lot on this now that Lewis is really starting to struggle on them tyres. Obviously, you really only want to be taking them 28 laps, and he's already done 31 on them, so Lewis is going to be quite slow now, and Rob's going to suffer because of that. And look, Nelly's penalty gap is about 6 seconds, so
he's very close to getting that podium.
If he gets past Con here, P2 is definitely on the cards.
Oh, and there goes the timing again.
I think we're just going to have to suffer through that.
Game is horrendous.
If you're Rob, do you just send it into the swimming pool section and just hope you ghost?
That's a good point.
Like, just use all your energy now and just see if you can, like, lightly tap Lewis. We'll see now anyway. He does send it. Yeah. We'll pass on.
And he goes through.
Ranger time penalty. Where is... Oh, we have Ranger and Kristaps side by side.
So will Rob Wills get a penalty there? I think we never seen exactly what happened there, because I'm amazed Rob Wills hasn't got a penalty there for overtaking a driver off track. It'd be nice to give it back. I'm not sure.
See, maybe because of that section of track, because you're going to be in front before you leave, the game doesn't register maybe.
Yeah. That's a good point. Dixie up to P9? No, he's P10. Because Rob
is everywhere.
Will Rage push out for fastest lap? Go another couple of laps and go in for a fresh set of soft compound tyre? He only needs to find a few more seconds. I mean, I know fine well how risky that is.
Yeah, you have first-hand experience.
Because it's Cody's scammer. That's really all I can say about that. We know he is P2. Well, but it's just Cody's. And if Lewis is going to get disqualified, he's going to go from...
I think he's just going to hit on the last... Well, Lewis could technically be out of fuel on lap 37 and go into low fuel mode. Mikey just needs to be aware of that and just make sure he doesn't plummet into the back of him.
Oh yeah, of course.
At some point. That could be an awkward situation. But look at this. The soft tires, as we've seen in the first stint, before my accident, you could see I was kind of pulling away from Rage and the rest, because the mediums are just such a good tire, and these soft tires just overheat instantly.
Yeah, they get very hot.
I mean, I'm looking at Nelly's 110 degrees on Nelly's front left, which is just, oh, you do not want that at all.
As he joins the back of this fight now as well, Mikey really try to get the push on and F. Lewis down to 3 laps to go.
But these tyres are going to kill Nelly. I won't even be surprised if he spins at this stage, because he just cannot get them into window. And Lewis may be out of fuel. He is going very, very slow. No, it seems to be okay for now. But it should be this lap. Lewis is minus 2.5 as Mikey makes a brave move. And look, here's Nude Potato here, right behind. And Nelly,
now Nelly and Nude side by side. Whoo, that got close.
Yeah. No, Macho Man could definitely pull up beside these guys if he's close.
Oh, look at this. Nude Potato and F. Lewis side by side down into the hairpin. And Nude Potato will go through. F. Lewis tries to keep it in that inside line. And look at that, Nelly sneaks through now, side line as well.
Unbelievable stuff here. Nelly's next 3 laps have to all be about keeping these tyres cool, calm, so he stays in the penalty windows. That's all that he needs to do now.
And can we talk about Mataman as well after the early moment? He's looking
100%.
good for a P4.
Yeah, I mean, it's Monaco, isn't it? It doesn't matter. Oh, this is going to cost him a lot of time. But yeah, this is the nature of Monaco, isn't it? Even if you have one spin, if you stick at it, and it's always good to have your spin really early at Monaco.
If Lewis goes in,
because it can actually be a blessing in disguise. Because if you think about it, Matroman started on the hard tires, he would have been stuck in a train. Whereas he got to pit early, he got his fresh air, kind of got a fake undercut on a 2-stop. So, yeah, Mataman maybe got a blessing in disguise there, but we'll see how it turns out from a what will it be, P5, P4, P6 maybe actually, because of Rob, wherever Rob is these days. But we will see.
Rage now 24.6 ahead. Will he pit for the fastest lap on the last lap? He has the gap. He is not going to bother, so it's a full commitment to just see the checker flag. The question is, look at Mikey on New Potato, 1.5. Gap is slowly, it was going out, but Con seemingly a little bit better in the final sector. Can Mikey get that gap out to 3 seconds?
Yep,
to
it's
pick
definitely
that
possible.
Podium? Yellow
when there's
flag.
a yellow flag, it doesn't look like anyone's gone off. Looks like the
F.
big
Lewis.
train.
Oh, F. Lewis is out of fuel! It's
Yep,
over!
he's out. And that is...
The under fuel, the expectations of a safety car.
Yeah, that's probably what it was, isn't it? He
I
probably
think
just
so.
betted on that safety car. And yeah, it really hasn't worked out for
So
him.
is Adam going to send it here and Shiv is going to look to the inside line, then goes to the outside line, but Shiv just racing the car in the middle of the road. Adam trying to get the move done, but it's not going to come this time around. Of course, this is for position to be a P7
Yep.
for Dixie if he gets through. With just a couple of laps to go, it's our closest battle on track at the moment. Can he get the run downhill into 4? Shiv though with the better exit. Not this time around.
So obviously... Oh, and it looks like a yellow flag between Con and Mikey. Something might have happened there. Look, oh, and Matoman picks up a penalty again. Ooh.
And Con is
Matoman may
losing
have
time.
lost his wing. Matoman's lost a lot of time here, it looks like. Maybe lost his front wing. Just looks like he's quite slow in this last sector. Maybe the tyres at 15 lap old softs actually. That is why he's going slow.
No, yeah. They are dead.
They are going to be screaming.
Con
So-
on a 34 laps it's going to be by the end of the session
Yep.
on his medium compound
we've
tyres. A hell of a
seen-
stint.
Well, Mikey's now really pulling out this penalty gap, and all he needs is 3 seconds here, and he needs 8/10 in this final half a lap, and I think that's going to be very much possible for Mikey. He's already pulled out 2/10 there, so
But
Mikey,
Mr. Rage, oh sorry Mike, he's just
Go
coming
ahead.
through the last couple of corners here. He's going to make it back to back. Now, first Portugal, now Monaco. Mike's raced it, maybe got away, but Rage is going to take the checker flag and he will take the win at Monaco. But the battle further behind in the penalties is where it's going to get interesting because Mikey has got the
Con's out
gap.
of fuel. Con's out of fuel.
Oh no, and that's going to hammer his lap time, so Mikey will secure what will be the podium at Monaco.
P3.
Nelly, I think, is going to get P2 because he's going to
Very well
stay.
deserved P2.
Yes, a very, very good driving. Let's just actually have a look where
Con's in neutral.
he drove Nelly up 10 positions. From P13, he will come to P2, he will take P2 at the line. Mikey 3, Matoman recovers to P4 after the moments. Con is going to get home for... Oh no, Con still gets P4. Matoman loses out in the penalty, so even though Con ran out of fuel in the last sector... Oh wait, Rob Wills was second.
Rob, then Nelly, then Mike. So everyone... Oh, this is so confusing.
Oh, that's
So,
right.
That's
It was Rage, Rob, Nelly.
so a great performance by both Rob and Nelly for that in podiums. Mikey as
course.
well after losing connection. A lot of star performances here. Matoman from like the back of the grid basically. Con had some sort of spin because he's done 34 laps on them mediums. Mick seemed to have damage for parts of the race. Adam had a few spins, didn't he? Chiv
Yep.
was in the wars. Ryan was in the wars. Chris Stabs, everyone was in the wars. And obviously Lewis ran out of fuel.
Lewis and Con. 2 drivers out of fuel. That's so rare. So who do we need to get in? It is Rage, Nelly and Rob. Rage, Nelly. And once my R's come up, we will get Mr. Rob. So, yeah, a few standout performances. Driver of the day is going to be a tough one come the end of the stream, and who we will choose to join. We're joined though by our two-man and Rob. We will wait for the other guys to come in, and then we will go. What will we do? We'll go first to third, I think, today. So we will wait on Rage.
And Nellington.
And Nellington, that's a good name for him.
I wonder if Mikey thought he had the podium just like we did. That could be heartbreaking.
I know. The timing screens in the game playing funny beggars after Rob's disconnect, of course. But Rob was, and that is for sure, he was P2 because nothing happened. And he was P2 for a bit, and then he dropped out, then he came back, and then, well, God knows what happened.
Yes, for sure.
So where is Rage?
He's
and
probably
Nelly?
Dead. Monaco, you need a whiz after that.
Where are they? Let me see.
There's Rage.
Ah, there he is. And then Nelly 2. So we'll start with you, Mr. Rage. Since you're our P1 man today, are you here?
I am here.
You'll need to speak up a little bit, you're very quiet, sir.
Oh, what? I am here.
Ah, there we go, that is better. So, Mr. Rage, it was looked a bit of a slugfest between you and Mike at the start, but of course, I hate to remind Mike about it, but that instant with him coming out the pits, the moment on the hard compound tyre, I think he got wing damage that was unrecognisable on screen, but definitely feeling it in the car, and then from there on in, you just never looked back, and you've made it back-to-back wins. How do you feel?
It's good. It's good. Monaco, it's a hit and a miss. You never know what happened. I was just surprised. Mike, did you get damaged?
Yeah.
I didn't see you.
Yeah, I know.
Nick and whoa.
It didn't show up on my car. I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on.
So that's why you were like, you were so
really
slow
after that lap 4.
I was like wondering, what the hell are you up to?
I wasn't trying to slow you down on purpose. Trust me.
What tactics were you trying to play there?
Well, it worked. Rob got the podium.
Unfortunately, oh man, it's so unlucky for my teammate, man. It could have been an easy one too. Could have. Unfortunate for Ranger.
But still, Ranger aside, back-to-back wins. You now take control of the championship also, and it will be quite a comfortable margin. I think you're going to be round about the 20-point mark ahead of Mike, going into next week at France and being the return of the sprint format. So essentially points and a half on offer. Do you think you can extend that gap at France, or do you think it will be a harder fought battle?
It's going to be hard, but all I will say is I love France, so it's going to be a very interesting one.
Well, we look forward to it. Oh, on you go.
No, yeah, if I remember correctly, last year, F. Lewis won it by what gap? I can't remember. Mike?
It seems to me that the calculations say it was 0.001.
It's gonna be entertaining at France. That's for sure.
Well,
Mike is definitely gonna bring it.
We look forward to it. I expect to see more, Mr. Rage, and very well done. Back-to-back wins. You did say last week you were going to try and start mounting your challenge, and that is a very good way to do it.
Thank you.
Very good job, Rob. One of our standout drivers today, by a big margin. Although the timing screens played a bit of funny beggars in the end, you did finish P2. You were saying pre-race about how you were expecting to DNF by lap 2, and by lap 39 you're in P2. How do you feel?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah. So I think F. Lewis had underfueled the car and hoped for a safety car because he ran out in lap 37. Well, I think he knew because the safety car never came, he was going to run out of fuel anyway. So it was, well, why not? You know?
Just stay out for the vibes.
Well, I was going to say that the pace looked pretty much there with the guys that were kind of racing up the front. I don't think there was any. Sometimes in Monaco it's a bit of luck that gets you up there, but I think your pace genuinely got you that podium there today. So I think that's kudos to the effort you put in. Yeah, definitely. I wholeheartedly agree, because Rage I think could have took a pit stop in the closing laps and still came out in front. But very good job, Rob. The standout driver for me today, and before we even get to the end of the stream, you will be your driver of the day from the comms box, so very well done. Nelly, P3, and another standout performance of the day. From outside the top 10, P13 to P3. It's a good effort. And you were very much in the fight in the closing stages of the race. Happy?
Yes. Was I P3 or P2?
P3. Rob had a DC, and he was ahead because he was battling F. Lewis, and then for some reason, once Rob DC'd, it was showing him in P15.
Okay. It's
He
just
did
the
a
timing
P15
screen
to
say
P2 in one
P2
lap.
because Rob had a penalty. Oh, okay. Whatever happened, still P3, man. That's insane.
I know, because we spoke to you last week and you weren't expecting much. You were just out to survive this week, and you've ended up surviving a podium.
It's interesting because I've got 2 Monaco victories in OTL, and like, so that's but this game's just insane how different it is to the last game or so. But I think my overtakes today were amazing, and my pace was average. I think I could have done a bit more in terms of speed, but I didn't crash. I didn't get a penalty. I did 6 positions on the first lap, and
Yep.
yeah, I was just insane. I'm looking forward to watching it back from my POV and from watching the stream, because I'm shaking because I haven't concentrated that much since my last divorce papers. But like that was absolute, it was. But like it was absolutely insane. But I'll take it. Thank you to Lewis for holding everyone up. I didn't know what to do with fuel. I was plus 2.9 and I ended with plus 2.9, so maybe I lost a bit of speed then. But I didn't hit anyone. I behaved myself, and thank you. I just wanted to do a big shout out to everyone who I raced with. They were all clean and fair, and it was
I will second that today. The racing was impeccable.
I will absolutely take it. Rage is good for him. He took a big lead in the championship now. But that is my worst track, and I've come third. So, and on to France, which is my best track. So.
Yes. I expect a big showdown. I think Rob will be right in that fight at France, and Mikey as well. Nude Potato will also be in that fight. So next week is a very, very interesting one. And of course, the sprint qualifying, anything can happen.
It will be I just hope it's just not a repeat of Imola. But I think I'll be too far up the road from all
And
the
not wet.
people that will hit me. So, not wet. Yeah, I don't want it to be wet. Actually, I really wanted it to rain today because I thought like I would have an advantage if it rained over a lot of drivers.
I've just lost respect for you now. I can't believe that.
I wanted it to rain also, if my opinion
Yeah.
matters.
See, the first thing me and Mike have ever agreed on. Relax. So, thank you so much. But
Take a screenshot.
Respect. I will see you guys next week. That was cool.
Yeah, top job, Nelly. Very good job on the podium, and good job to everybody. Rob, as well, just before we go, France next week, I was just saying there, do you think you can be in the mix? I think your race pace is stronger than you let on, so I expect to see you right up there next week.
He's captain.
Yeah, that's it. Mike, if you get anything to ask the guys before we go, I know you're a
Yeah,
driver, but
well,
you'll join me in the
obviously
box.
Rage takes control of the championship, so I got to get this out there. I mean, do you think you can take it the whole way, Rage?
Oh, getting asked by your
that
main
was a
rival
pressure
in the
question.
comms box.
You gotta give the viewers an answer, Rage. Is it a yes or a no?
Well, after last season, hell yeah, I'm going for you.
Well, there we go.
Oh.
And Nelly, you also seem to have maybe jumped me today. So, do you think you can put a fight on Rage?
I'm more worried about youth, to be fair.
Oh!
Yes, this is exactly
joking,
what
I'm
I
joking, I'm
wanted.
joking.
Everyone is
No, I'm
against each
joking.
other.
I'm joking. I think. If you remember me and you, Mike, we had a little discussion on Discord before the season started, and we were like, we're finally going to get the trilogy, because last year I
Yeah.
started like halfway through the season. And I think it makes it a million times more fun that Rage is there as well, because we're all clean
100%.
drivers, but we're all super quick, and I think we're all just going to push ourselves to another limit. So I'm looking forward to another... I just wish I won in Portugal now, but let's just bloody go for it. Let's bloody go for it. This is the most exciting OTL has been in 4 seasons, and it just keeps getting better and better each year. So let's just keep it going.
No problem. And obviously, I feel very bad for Rob now, so I need to think of a question to ask him. Rob, do you think you can win the constructors? Perfect.
You McLaren.
Back to you, Chris.
So,
Chris, do the outro.
yes, again.
No, not again.
On that note, OTL will be back
Smells
next
like
Monday.
waffles in here.
Realistic will be live on Thursday, and HMR live on Wednesday. We will see you then. Take care.